Spirited Bee People. Welcome back to B&K Bees. Today is the start of our Making Queen Bees series. I will turn this toward me just a little bit better. Because we make a lot of queens here at B&K Bees. It's a main source of income, a main source of passion in the beekeeping realm for me. So we love this process, and we've worked hard at it over the years, and we've kind of perfected a method that works well for us. We've made a lot of mistakes and learned from those along the way. So this video, this preliminary video in this series is kind of more background information. Why bees make queens and how we can utilize those impulses to make queens for ourselves in a manageable and expected way. So why do bees make queens? Well, first of all, obviously they need a queen. They need a queen to generate. The worker bees can lay eggs, but they haven't mated with any drones, so the only eggs that they can possibly lay will be unfertilized drones. So we need queens in each hive, at least one. You'd be surprised at how often there's more than one. But so bees have many different reasons that they want to make queens. Actually, three. That's the swarm, supersedure, and emergency response. The swarm response is the natural propagation method for honeybees. It means that they've done so well, they're booming at the right portion of the right time of the year, that they need to make more queens because they're going to spread their genetics all over the place and send swarms out to various trees and houses and barns and all that stuff. The supersedure response is, oh no, our queen is not cutting it anymore, she's getting older, she's not laying as many eggs per day, maybe her queen mandibular pheromone is becoming less and less. And so they say, no, we've got to have a new one. And so they kind of, in a more relaxed way, make a few queen cells and prepare to supersede their old one. And the third response is emergency, and that is kind of easy to figure out. It means something bad happened, something catastrophic happened to our queen, and we need to make one now, and we need to make one quickly. So understanding those three different impulses, we can utilize that and a combination of those to create queen bees. And once again, in a manageable and expected way. Here at B&K Bees, we use what's called a Queenless cell builder, which is basically a very, very, very strong hive of bees with tons of workforce and tons of resources in terms of carbohydrates and protein that we make sure are queenless, and then we give them grafted larvae. With all that workforce and all those resources, all they want to do is create queen cells, and given the abundance of, once again, workforce and resources, those queen cells they make are nice and plump and fat and really well fed. And that is the goal. That's definitely the goal. There are other methods that you can utilize to create queens. Years ago, we used to make walk-away splits with tons of frames of eggs, and they'll just make queen cells all over the place, and you can use those throughout your apiary. There are other methods like the nicket system, where you allow the queen to lay onto a specialized frame and then distribute those eggs that she laid on that frame, kind of similar to grafting, but just without actually having to pick the larva up. And then there's like a cloak board method, where you've got a little fancy board that divides a queen right and a queenless portion of a hive that can do different jobs. So there's tons of different methods, but I very much like the Queenless cell builder. It takes a lot of bees to do that, and you kind of have to stay on top of it and regenerate it with open brood so that you don't get laying workers after a few grafts. But it produces good high quality queens. It doesn't mess with your queen right colonies, and I just like it quite a lot. We also utilize an incubator, once again to add to the manageable and expected aspect of these things, because leaving these cells in these hives of bees leaves a lot up to the bees and up to the variable nature of our bee yards. Virgin queens return into queenless boxes all the time. You've got supersedure swarms that'll sneak in and ruin all your cells. So as soon as we can safely move those cells out of the builder and into the incubator, we do, so that we can have more control over the development of those cells. So yeah, understanding the supersedure, swarm, and emergency impulses can greatly help you, whether you're making splits or you're trying to make queens for your own operation. But yeah, so part 2 will be preparing the cell builder, and then we'll get right into grafting and creating some queen bees. So Thanks for watching. Get out there and have some fun with your bees.